going to talk about something interesting, and this involves social media.
Yes, Facebook to be specific, right?
Facebook and Instagram, but I think more so on Facebook because a lot of us are on Facebook. I'm considered a newbie. I guess a newbie would be 4 years.
5 years, anything less than 10 years to me is a newbie.
And you've been on Facebook for how long?
Oh, over 10 years. I'm an OG, Facebook OG.
And I think this is an important topic to talk about because we all are affected by Facebook some way, somehow. And socially, it really impacts our emotion.
Yes, it can if you let it be. To me, Facebook is my therapy, is healing for me. And it's where I, find all of my childhood friends, not all, but most, and families, connect with family and friends. And some are my students who, live overseas. So to me, Facebook or social media is a positive, it does positive impact on me. But I can see how sometimes it can be a negative impact on other people. And it's really like some people don't have a filter, right? I am in an open book. Sometimes I don't have filters. And I used to use Facebook as my ranting. I used to have a ranting Monday. So that's where, I don't go easy on people. If somebody said something or do something that affects me, I would blast them on Facebook, and I usually do it on Monday. So people used to be like, oh no, I don't want to add Nancy, or I don't want to be Nancy's friends or on Facebook, or I don't want to piss off Nancy because they know I will blast them on Facebook.
Yeah.
I have come to, taking it easy now, but we were talking earlier, and which is interesting, is that you brought up about how some people are starting to complain about fake friends.
Yes.
I really like that topic because my mole and I were just talking about the same
Your BFF?
thing. Yes,
Your nickname?
we notice it on, I notice it on, a lot of my friends' feed are posting fake friends. So happy to be with real people, happy to be with real friends. So let's hear your input. What do you think who do you think that person is attacking, or what do you think is your fake friends versus real friends?
So for me, right, I try to use Facebook as, like you said, like a forum where I could connect to families that are not nearby. Family who are in France, family who are in Arizona, just anywhere, in Thailand too. So I have family in Cambodia too. So I post what I do on a daily, or where we go, or post updates on the kids. So I know that seems to be to certain people like she's an open book. For me, it's a way of connecting to my family and friends. And I'm curious about what people do as well, because it gives me updates. Funny, like some of my family, they're not on Facebook. They're like, what are you up to? I said, check Facebook. I don't need to repeat it, right? I don't need to text 20 people and say, hey, I'm going to do this. When you check on Facebook, it's kind of like an open source. So that was my position. And lately, I do notice that people categorize other people as fake friends. Yes. And you're like, you think it's harmless. People get this quote, those ambiguous quote that they get from Pinterest and say, oh yeah, if it's, important, then friends will make time for you, or most of the time they're like, fake friends, or this and that. And I said, if you post something that attacks other people or make people think that, your friendship's not real and you're not a genuine person, you don't think that affects them, but they do. They're sitting there, they're reading, they're connected to you, and they're like, oh,
Is
obviously,
she talking about
is
me?
she talking about me? And like, I'm not invited to their party, so it must be me that I'm fake,
Yeah.
and so it hurts. Right?
Well, yeah, so let's talk a little bit about fake friends and real friends. I think we are, how do you define fake friends and how do you define real friends? To me, it's like we all have our own busy schedules. Sometimes people don't know what other people going through. And just
Yep.
because you invite them to child's birthday, picnic, all these things, we don't have to attend every events. We don't have, like, we can love you. I personally love all of my friends, but I have a few people who that I spend most of the times with, because I feel that, for example, my friends Sinuan and Montera would be the only two that I spend most of my times with. And then some people, friends I would see on occasionally. But the reason why I see two out of more than anybody else is because when I'm depressed, when I'm stressed, and I just want to get away from the world, these are the two that I go to, but then when I see other people at functions or events, I try my best to give them my full attention and to let them know that they matter to me or I miss them. And that doesn't mean that I'm fake. It's just that sometimes I can't attend every event,
Yeah.
So how do you define fake friends versus real friends? What is your definition?
So here's the thing, okay? Friends are also confused as acquaintance. Would you say?
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So I work and I have coworkers. They are coworkers, and there's boundaries. I do not invite them to my home, to parties, and certainly not on Facebook. So I don't want them to know what's going on with my personal life. Okay? So like you said, friends that know you when you're hurt and when you have somebody to go to, those are your friends, but also you have also peripheral friends. For instance, we have common friends, right?
Yes.
And sometimes our common friend have a get together, and I'm not invited, but it's okay. I'm a busy person.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. You don't have to be invited to
All the time.
every event,
Yeah.
or all of your friends don't have to invite you all the time.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, you don't have to be there attending everybody's, function or
Yeah.
invites. It's just, sometimes you just have to see what you can attend and what you can't. And that doesn't mean you love them any less. It just means sometimes you just want to be alone. Sometimes you just want to take a break from all the, social events. And so I think that, we really need to be a little bit more sensitive about categorizing who's fake and who's real. If that person genuinely being nice to you in your face, and then go behind your back and talk about you, that's a different story. So that's two different things, you know what I mean? It's like, that's what I would categorize as fake.
Yeah.
But if somebody just can't be at all your invites and being nice to you when they do see you, how is that being fake? So it's, it's a tough category to be in.
My policy is if you can't be nice, then don't say anything negative. And I try to work on this because, I made the mistake. I'm not perfect. And I made the mistake of saying something that I shouldn't. I entrusted somebody, and that person, when you have a one-on-one conversation and you share something and that person, which the other person, you're like, now everybody know. And so my reputation was ruined because I trust this one person, but then it's my fault. I take ownership. It's my fault that I should have never said anything negative about anybody, even if it's just a comment. And so my children always said, Mom, you know, they correct me. And so from that one point that I learned 3 years ago is like, I'm not going to say anything negative about anybody to another person. And I'm going to allow that person, the new person, to make their own decision to say, hey, who is Nancy? I'm not going to say Nancy is this and this, because it's not fair, because their relationship's not tainted. And that's why I think that people should not group a policy where, hey, this person's fake, so then everybody goes around that person and say, yeah, you're right, she's fake. But I honestly think you should, as a person, get to know Nancy or Janet or whoever it is that they talk about, and get to know and build that relationship and not feed into negativity. And I think Facebook as a forum is okay when you don't burn anybody, you don't try to be negative. I have a lot of bad things happening personally in my life, but I try not to put it on Facebook. And if that means that I'm fake, right? So be it, because I don't think people want to hear negativity about me in my personal life.
Yeah, I agree, because you know, sometimes like, I'm technically an open book, right? But sometimes I don't want to share everything that I'm going through, all the stress, all the issues, you know, life challenging, daily challenges that I go through. That doesn't, and then, but I'm always posting happy, you know, stuff or positive stuff. It's not because I'm faking, it's because I rather pass on happiness and pass on positivity than to pass on negative, because you know what, whether we like it or not, it's true. When we hear something about negative, when we read something about negative, it affects our emotion. We started to be sad. But then when we read something inspirational and something positive, it puts a smile on our face. It put a smile on my face. So just because I don't tell you the bad things that's happening in my life doesn't mean I'm fake. It means that I don't want to pass on my stress to you. So I just want to share the happiness, because you know what? There's so many negative and sad news in this world already, that we don't need to share more negative. We need some positive. And the way to get rid of the negative is by being more positive. You know, you can't get rid of negative by spreading more negative.
I agree. I totally agree. So that's just my position in Facebook and Instagram, whether I have a tough day and whatever is happening, I just want to put positivity, encouragement. Like when I exercise, I do Pilates, whatever it is, I always want to inspire people to be the best for themselves. Because when you're already depressed and you see somebody say, hey, go kill yourself, then that might encourage them to do something bad. So I have a tough spot, but you know, I keep it to myself. My best friend is my husband, so I usually, you know, talk to him. You have your two best friends, so you know, I go to my husband or my sister. So basically, I think, you know, before I leave this segment, I want to give you a compliment.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? And Kavadi, my bridal too, you guys are amazing. I just simply love the way you post your Instagram or Facebook pictures, because I'm just like, it's so mysterious and sexy and just so cool. And I'm like, I want to be like that. But then I go, I feel like I'm an open book too, so I can't decide, you know, what to do. But I just wanted to say, I love your post. Don't give it up.
Thank you. Yeah. So, see, sometimes you can kind of tell how I feel behind the picture. Like you said, my pictures are mysterious. It's true, because you never know whether I'm sad or happy when I take that picture. But just because I didn't tell you how depressing I am or what life challenges I go through, doesn't mean I don't go through life challenges. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean every day is my happy days. Although, you know, we would all love to live in that moment, but I have my moments, you know, I just don't like to share that moments, the negative moments or the challenges moments, because I really want to spread happy
Yeah.
news, happy world. We live in a great world.
Yeah, so basically, tell us, let us know,
Yeah,
okay?
comment like what is fake friends to
Yes,
you?
we're really interested in hearing your feedback. Contact us, we would love to hear that. And so, in closing, we want to thank you for listening to Real Talk on Khmer TV.